Hello and welcome back to International Racing Series. We are back live for another event. This time it's Tier 2, Round 4, Great Britain, the home of F1 and the home of IRS. We are getting ready for an 18-minute qualifying session to see who can set the fastest lap to get the fourth pole position of the season, as a few cars leave the pit straight away. Who we got out first? AlphaTauri of Leon. Let me change to full track map, but yeah, the home of IRS being from the UK, mixed up with a lot of drivers from all around the world though. Leon being one of them from the Netherlands, I think he is. Remy in the chat saying good luck to all the drivers out there. It's going to be a fun race, I reckon. Always a fun race around Silverstone. Tier 1 was definitely a fun race, so let's hope Tier 2 can follow in suit, as we're on board with the AlphaTauri driver on his first out lap, and will be the first driver to set a flying lap, unless he invalidates then the Haas of Yosoi Chris behind. I think it is it Yosoi Chris or is it Elmo? No, it's Elmo. But let's stay on board with Leon then, as he's about to prepare himself, turn his hot lap on and start a flying lap as he comes through Stone Corner down into Vale and Club and then straight onto the Hamilton Straight to get us going in this qualifying session. Here he goes in gear 4, gear 5, onto his flying lap down the Hamilton Straight, flying into Abbey and Farm as late on the brakes as you can, into the village, then into the loop. Taking it a bit tentative so far, but it's his first lap, so can be expected as we go down the Wellington Straight into the fast left-hander of Brooklands. Has a bit of a moment with the rear tyres there. Into Luffield, out on the exit into Woodcut, and into the fastest corner of the track, into Cops. Does he go down into gear 7? No, he doesn't. Takes it flat out in gear 8, which is the best way to do it. And we're coming up to Maggots and Beckett's. Definitely tricky couple of corners coming here onto the Hangar Straight. So 103.5 for sector 2 as we fly down into Story Corner. It's looking like a pretty decent opening lap here from Leon as we head into Vale for the first time on his lap though. On the exit into Club, crosses the line, and it will be a 127.1, followed by Elmo, who's going to deliver a 129.1. Next up will be the Red Bull of Outlaw, who's flying so far, 126.4, so 3 very different times set there. And then we've got TPI 300, also entering the last couple of corners right now. Onto the Hamilton Straight he goes and puts in a 126.2, goes 2/10 clear of Outlaw. And we've got a Ferrari, is it? Of Maki Parla. No time set for him. Yosoi Chris will be next up, looking pretty competitive into sector 2. Crosses the line, goes P3 for 26.9. And then we've got the McLarens up next. S1 on an out lap, just preparing himself, as Nasha also looking very competitive into sector 2 with a 102.7. Out the final corner he comes, but that's an invalidation, and that would have been second place if he didn't invalidate that. Alpine of GF1, Rasamol 26.7, Purple Dirt 26.8. Next up V, a Haas driver who's going for another lap here, Elmo. Followed by Sexy Sushi, I believe that is, as Elmo goes 1.5 quicker. That's a nurse, sorry. With a 125.8 straight off the bat. What else we got on a flying lap? Remy's out there on the inters, not sure why. DMV super skills. Let's go down to IS1. I think he's going to be the next driver to set a lap as he comes through Maggots and Beckett's right now. Taking it. He needs to go down to the gear 6, yep. Bit too late on the gear 6, I'd say there. Coming through Beckett's. 103.4. Bit down on the boys at the top of the moment, but still on a decent lap is IS1. See what sort of time he can deliver. Out the penultimate corner onto the Hamilton straight and does a 126.994 and goes P7. DMB super skills up next. Slots in at P9 with a 27.6. And that is everyone's first lap complete. Yo, soy Chris in the house going for another lap. Into the village section. In the loop. Around into Aintree. A few cars on the out laps just getting out of the way there. Or in laps, I should say. It's going to be a tight grid, I reckon. As Outlaw improves his time again with a 26.0. Exactly 2/10 off a no. He's right on board with Yosoy Chris through Cops and he runs a bit wide there. Missing the apex a little bit, will cost him a 10th or 2. And through Maggots. Probably went down into the wrong gear there, I'd say. Want to ride through into 7th and then it's come out in 6th onto the hanger straight. He's 2/10 up though. Into Stowe, hits the apex, close to the curb as you can. Down into gear 2 through Vale. You want to go through gear 3 through there really. And then into gear 4 out the exit, but crosses the line down to 26.5, improves by 4/10. Good time from the house driver there. Who else we got there? Outlaw is just on it in lap. He's got no fuel. Won't be able to improve. DMB super skills. On the lap as well, we've got Russane Burb and Sexy Sushi, who's backed off his lap straight away. But let's go on board with the Russane Burb. Not as many Brit drivers compared to Tier 1, here in Tier 2, but Russane Burb being one of the Brits. Home Grand Prix for him. 103.5 into sector 2 as he comes down the hanger straight. Let's see where I can put this ass in line. Takes the last couple of corners very nicely. 27.1, slots it at P8 into the top 10. DMB super skills. 2.5 attempts up on his time in the Mercedes. Teammate IRS LB44. Unfortunately not here today, so he'll be carrying the Mercedes team today. Trying to maximise his race and qualifying to get as many points as he can. Let's see what sort of time this puts himself up to. Should be into P7 maybe. P8 just behind IS1. 5 attempts up on his time. Got Nasha, Maki Parla in the Ferrari. Bit of a mistake there with the gears, I'd say. Should have went down into gear 6 and carried the speed, but it was on a 104.2, which is a improvement, I would say, from last week's race, as he was quite a bit off the pace, but he invalidates there though. He was on a decent lap. Looking all a bit scruffy in the Ferrari, but was on a decent lap until he invalidated there. Gonna have to go again. Or he might have to box because he hasn't got the IRS to really try another lap. But 29.1 would have been. Let's see how Nash is doing. Teammate currently sitting P5. Nash is on a great lap here. A 102.7 into sector 2, which is a very competitive sector time. Remy, he really pushed. He's on his outlap now. Got rid of his tinted tyres onto the softs. Here comes Nasha though, looking at P2 I think here. Or P3. 13 thousandths of a second behind Outlaw. Very good luck from Nasha there. Another Brit driver. GF1. Reisimov is 10th and a half down in sector 1 at the moment. Has he found any more time through Magnus and Beckett? No, he doesn't, because he runs completely wide, taking way too much curb. Somehow didn't validate there, only 2 tenths down. Elmo of the Void, starting his flying lap. Maki Parla invalidates again on his lap. He's going to have to box, get a new set of tyres, which he does. I stay on board with Elmo of the Void then as he comes into the village. Currently P12, 5.5 tenths off the next driver. Above him has a bit of a moment there, getting too early on the throttle, spinning up those rears. And he's 2 tenths down. He's probably going to back off now, which he has. Let's go on board with Remy. He's usually pretty good around Silverstone, if I remember rightly. Get rest wide open. Down into Brooklyn's 27.5, which is a decent sector time. But Anur out front at the moment with a 25.8. We've only got 5 minutes left already, which has flown by. Qualifying session is probably pretty quick. Into Cops we go. Remy takes a bit too much curb. It's going to compromise his exit. Into Maggots and Beckett's. Want to go through gear 8 down to gear 7 here. Then switch down to gear 6, which he does, but misses the apex, and that's going to cost him on the exit as well. Still on a decent time though, 103.2 for sector 2, and he's got time to improve as he's missed a couple of apexes so far, so Remy is definitely going to be in the top 10 I think today. He can get this last couple of corners right, not run too wide, which he doesn't. Into gear 4, onto the Hamilton straight, crosses the line, and goes P7 with a lot of time to improve there I'd say. Elbow of the Void, I think has made a mistake on his his lap there. He's backed off again I think, yes he has. As we're waiting for a few more drivers to start their flying laps, we've got Sexy Tushi, purple sector 2, 102.8. In the Alfa Romeo, his teammate's currently P1, can he make it a 1-2 for the Alphas? Into the final corner he comes. Goes P5 with 26.3. So we're getting down to the crunch time of qualifying now, where the track's going to be at its best. The track's warmed up, everyone's got used to the track and the feeling of it. We'll go on board with Anur in a minute when he starts his flying lap, because he is currently P1, 2 tenths clear from anyone else. Pole position in tier 1 was a 25.0, 1-2 from JTK, so at the moment tier 2 are about 8.5 tenths off the tier 1 pole time. Obviously that's why we have tier 1 and tier 2 to separate the different drivers, but Anur, the only driver so far to get into the 125s. As we're on board with Yolsoy Chris, and he's backed off his lap, a mistake from him. somewhere on his lap. We got Leon, 2.5 temps up on his flying lap. Where's another coming through the Stowe corner right now? So we're gonna stay on board with Anu here and see what sort of time he can do. If he can improve this 125.8. Currently P1 in the standings. Last week, unfortunately DNF, but the first 2 races he did win. So he sits on 50 points at the top. As we ride on board with him now. Through farm into village.